Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a mental health counselor. That is one of the main reasons that I wanted to spread awareness for mental health victims, for victims that are suffering in silence. Today's topic has been a topic for me for the last 10 months. It is this case of missing Summer Moon Utawel. Summer is a 5-year-old girl who was reported missing by her mother Candus Bly and her father Donald Wells. This happened back on the 15th of June 2021. Candus Bly called her husband Donald Wells allegedly and said that she couldn't find their daughter, the last born child. Her name is Summer Moon Wells. According to Dawn and Candus, when she called Dawn told her to immediately hang up and call law enforcement. When Candus called law and enforcement, it was around 6:30, I believe, or 6:25 in the evening. So this was somewhere after 6:30 in the evening. There is a 3 to 4 hours gap in the timeline that we are not aware of, and obviously we ain't working the case, we are the professionals in the case, so we wouldn't know till this case appears in trial. Coming back to the timeline, Candus called Dawn, like I said, and Dawn said that they both called from separate places. Like Dawn was at work, so he called from his areas. I think there's Johnsburg. And Candus called from her area. There's Rogersville, Hawkins County, Ben Hill Road. Law enforcement came to the property of Summer Moon Wells. They did a splendid job by closing down the roads and the bottom of Ben Hill Road and Beach Creek. The neighbor Jodisue said that she heard around 4:30 somebody slamming or shutting their truck, and she heard a hysterical yelling. We still don't know what she heard, but that's according to what she says. But Jodisue's stories have changed so many times, and I think that's the reason we all are speculating about if she was involved and how deep is she involved in this case. Jodisue clearly believes in the abduction theory, and so does Candus, Dawn, and Grandus. That's the reason I always come to that conclusion that these neighbors could be working together. I really hate to say this, but just in case just say Jodisue's son, who's 19 years old, was involved in this, then obviously Jodisue will do anything to protect her child. So she would be working with the suspects in this case. Like the sheriff said, everybody's a suspect. Nobody's ruled out. That we should keep in mind. Going back to the timeline, the sheriff and law enforcement came to Ben Hill Creek. They shut down the roads, everything, to make sure that nobody leaves since Summer's missing. Many search parties came out. The search spread to becoming a huge huge search. They used a lot of resources. The search continued, I believe, for 3.5 weeks daily. They tried to cover the space of 5,000 meters or something, but they covered a huge space, and not only twice, the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations in Tennessee, have done a beautiful job, and so has Sheriff Rawson. I mean, in the previous searches, we don't know yet how case is going to go on, but I'm sure they're doing a lot that we are not aware behind the scenes. After law enforcement left, the next day, the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, that works with foul play, that works with gang-related crimes, human trafficking, fraudsters, big fraud crimes and such things, organized crimes, that was the word I was searching for. The TBI was involved. Allegedly, they spoke to both the parents, and after they spoke to the parents, they raised the endangerment alert to a trigger, to an amber alert. An amber alert is put out usually when somebody's life is in extreme danger. But for whatever reason, TBI decided to put it as an amber alert. They managed to do that, and that amber alert is still present up to today. Robin, that is Summer's school teacher, not school teacher, I'm sorry, her church teacher, Sunday school teacher, said that Candus called her and said, "You need to come, Summer's gone." Robin said that when she came, which was around 8 or a bit later than 8, she said, "We weren't allowed to go up to Ben Hill Road to the property," but she said that David Dobson was already there before her. So the family called David Dobson. He was a member of the church, or I'm not sure if he is a member, but he came later on before Summer got missing. So it raises a bit of concerns and red flags there too. I'm just stunned by this whole case, because the more you think about it, the suspects keeps on adding. The list keeps on adding, and I don't know if he will ever come to the truth of this mess. I don't mean by Summer's case being a mess, but I mean by all the suspects that are involved. And that is definitely the reason the TBI is involved. This is more than one person who's done it. Whether it was an accident that led to a cover-up, or whether it was something done pre-planned and deliberately to hurt Summer. Since we've heard that allegedly Don has a serious pattern of sex offenses, he himself admitted it on TV and on YouTube at the start of the case, like 9 months ago. He said that he was playing house with his 5-year-old stepsister when he was 15 years old. So as a therapist, such things gives me a bigger picture of what we're dealing with in a way. Every interview I've watched of Don Wells, his lies seems to be getting more and more. He'll do anything to distract you so that you follow his narrative. And if you give him a chance, he'll run away with the whole interview. I personally wouldn't have taken the proper timeline from Don either, but his makes more sense than Jodisue, Candus, and Grandus, who decided to speak after 9 months. One of the reasons I came to speak a bit today is I wanted to speak about Grandus's interview. I keep on watching it, and all I see is lies, 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 allegedly. You can see it in her face expressions, even when she's saying, I cry for some. I'm sure people are different. Maybe she cries inside in her soul, and obviously we can't see that. So it would be wrong to judge her, but I don't see much empathy or anything when she's doing the interview. Not even did she shed one tear. And that interview, I believe, was done just a couple of weeks after Summer went missing. The minute Don said that he believes he will see Summer in the resurrection, that is the time I knew it was a red flag, that something could be seriously up with this story. Don looks like there's a lot more he knows that he's hiding from us and that we may never find out. If he was part of the crime and Candus is aware of it, and Grandus, I don't think any of them will be willing to talk, because I believe seriously that these people have things on each other. So if Candus tells on Don will snitch on her too, of whatever negligence and whatever he knows about, even maybe, example, maybe even a crime done to Rosemary Bly, who's missing since 2009. So I don't think these people are going to sit and tell, and especially not to Ernie Shell. Ernie Shell is keeping on pushing the theory that this was human trafficking. So obviously he's going to lead Candus to come up with theories and stories that Dawn sold or something. I wouldn't be surprised. She told him to give her 2 days and then she's ready to talk. She told him not to record her. I believe it's all BS, I'm really sorry to say. Unless she and her mother have decided to maybe turn against Don, since he has other cases that are pending in Utah with 6 victims, 2 of them being his stepsisters and their daughters and their daughter's friend. Don was apparently committing SCX offenses since he was a kid. I can't diagnose anyone, I'm not a psychiatrist, but as a therapist and dealing with many people like Don, you can get a rough idea. And I would say antisocial personality disorder is one of the things I always said from day one. The more I heard about Don, the more I stuck to the antisocial personality disorder, because he has so many symptoms and traits of it that it can't be ignored. When he was a young boy, he burnt down his father's farm with the animals in it. When he was a young boy, he was doing SEX offense to children and minors. He grew up with that behavior for a very long time. And it's not an excuse. He must have definitely seen that behavior from adults in his family for him to be continuing the pattern. It's not always necessary that it's a genetic thing, but I think it's even about behavior and character. So if something becomes normal, just say if you've been the victim of SEX offense, I'm not saying that people will, like, what I'm trying to say is that just say if you have been in a society or family that have been, God forbid, doing SEX offense, they usually say that the pattern can just go on from parents to children to parents or children. And I don't think it has much to do, I personally don't think it has much to do with genetics. There is a bit in genetics too, but I think it's because of how we live and about the boundaries and the ethic and morals we adapt by and teach our children to adapt to. It doesn't look like Don was corrected any time in his life. I think the only people who ever corrected him were the officers who were sending him to jail at different times for different offense. Other symptoms that I can think of him being antisocial personality disorder is with whatever Dawn talks about, you hardly see any empathy. You don't see remorse. You don't see much emotions with Dawn. And Dawn can lie. He can lie like no man's business. There is another trait of people who have antisocial personality disorders. And it usually comes with people who have such disorders or many mental health disorders. They end up using drug addiction or drinking excessive alcohol or getting into always illegal things, to put it that way. That's how they end up in jail, when they keep on doing such things or somebody tells on them, and that's how they get a mandatory treatment from the court. The court has to sign that. Otherwise, they go back to jail, or they go to jail for a very long time. Allegedly, Candus's uncle too has been in jail for many years. He keeps on coming in and out. He's a registered SEX offender. So there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things with this family. And a lot of drama with the people in the case who are involved in the case. I'm just surprised that they still haven't turned on each other. And I always say I don't believe Candus will ever turn on Dawn. They have too much to lose. They just have each other. And it's sad that Candus has given up on her 3 sons to even visit them. Candus, if you're listening, please do that. It's just so sad how this whole family got destroyed in a matter of one day, in a matter of a couple of hours. Another thing that I really wanted to touch on was, I don't know if you remember, 3 months ago I was discussing a clip with you all about a snake tattoo. I believe I mentioned this a couple of days ago, a week ago. I asked a question to Justice for All to ask Jose for me about the snake. And I believe Justice for All made a tape of it. He ran off with it and just made it. For me, all I care is to get awareness for Summer, to find out what happened to Summer, and justice for Summer. And if she's alive, that she gets the right therapy and the right help that she needs. Basically, the snake theory was, basically in January, I noticed a snake tattoo on Candus's, I believe, left hand on her wrist. I was watching a channel, Candus's channel, and do you remember the day when she was talking about she was really drunk and she kept on saying that I would never do anything to hurt my children ever again? It was that clip, although she's taking it off. I believe I have it in my channel. Please watch it. I just recorded that little bit. You can see her with her hands behind her neck. I'll put that picture as my thumbnail, and then you can check. If you just zoom in a bit closer, you see a snake tattoo on her hand. And when I saw the snake tattoo, automatically, this was like in early January, even before Jose came with his interview, I used to always wonder, what is it about the snake and Candus? Because I remembered in the first interview, she said, I don't go out for walks in these areas because I'm scared of the snakes snakes, coyotes, and bears. Yeah, it was snakes, bears, and coyotes. So if you're scared of a snake, why would you have a snake tattoo on your wrist where you can see it every second? We use our hands all the time, so she would have definitely seen it. So something doesn't add up. While I was trying to investigate, could she have taken her, I was trying to research and check, could she have taken her to anything that starts with snake? And then I checked up and I found a snake lake pond in Tennessee, and that's an hour or 50 minutes from where the Wells live. But then it still didn't add up to me, so a couple of days passed by. I tried to check to see the previous interviews, the early interviews with Candus, and to check if she had a snake then. She didn't actually. So I got more curious about it. And then one day I was listening to Jose's interview, the part 2 interview with Justice for All. Please like, share, and subscribe to him. Jose speaks about a snake. I think it's a copperhead or something like that. He says there was a snake in the well shed that killed 2 cats. He said animal rescue, the animal team were called and they couldn't even get hold of the snake. So if that snake managed to kill two cats, I wonder if that snake, since they never caught it, was in the shed and maybe someone was running barefoot and it bit her. God forbid, that could be possible. But all I know is I'm just trying to find out why Candus Bly has a snake tattoo, because it doesn't make sense at all. And then you hear all kind of stories and rumors and speculations on YouTube, and there's hearing a lot about somebody who knows the family said that maybe a snake bit Summer. Not really sure about that, but honestly, when I saw Summer's pictures in the car and how she was so swollen and her fingertips were purple and her mouth and her eyelids were purple too, I hate to say it, the first day when I saw the snake tattoo in January and I was focusing on that story, I kept on looking at that picture and then I kept on Googling up and checking how a person looks like if they get a snake bite. And it makes a lot of sense with how little baby Summer looked like, God forbid. So whatever accident happened or if it was pre-planned, these people were doing it on purpose, obviously. They planned this, they knew what they were doing. Even if they were involved with human trafficking, they're involved in something. I used to always find it fishy and strange that Allison has so many small girls with all blonde hair and blue eyes in her pictures in her Facebook. I don't know if she's taken it down or I don't know. It just looked a bit too strange because all of the girls looked similar with the same haircuts. They all looked off kind of like Summer with a bit longer hair, but they looked very skinny. They looked, I don't know what to say. Just check if y'all can. Remember seeing it a couple of months ago. Then we have Allison who's lying and Candus saying that they fell off, or it was actually Allison who's going around saying we fell off and we don't have any contact with them. What is interesting is I saw Don Wells's interview with the behavior panel and I put that in one of the clips. I just took out a short clip and you can clearly hear Don saying that for no reason Allison and Hunter flipped on Candus. I'll never forget that word. So I wonder, was there a deal between Allison, Hunter, Dawn, Candus, and Grandus? Something is going on that these people are aware of and we ain't. And hopefully we'll come to the bottom of that too. I don't know what Jodisue is hiding, but there's something she's hiding. I can't get my finger on it. These people must have taken summer far away from the property. Others, they wouldn't have been so comfortable when the search was going on. Unless they decided to remove her halfway to the church, to the search, and then maybe when they saw that law enforcement has covered the 5,000 meters or square meters or whatever they were supposed to cover, they could have gone and relocated it. Or unless, like I said before, maybe it happened on the 14th and not the 15th. Since Dawn is, what's it called? Since Dawn is workmate or the guys who Dawn used to work for, or opposite, I'm sorry. It's getting late, I'm tired actually. But it's basically the guy that Dawn rented to work for him, Dudley R. John. Please watch that interview. It's on Jonathan Lee. Please like, share, and subscribe to him too. I think that's an important interview. I know that you're going to say Dawn has complained about that guy, and we don't know if he's a liar or if he's on drugs. But you know what? I've studied a lot about these interviews with Dawn and all, and I really believe that there's a lot of truth in what Mr. John is saying, more than Dawn and Candus. I don't think this is the first or last crime that Candus, Grandus, and Dawn have got themselves into. It's not the first and it's not the last. These people seem to be having many bad habits, and to provide continuing to have those bad habits, they would do anything possible, I believe. God forbid, or maybe an accident happened which just turned into a cover-up, or maybe like many people are speculating, maybe CPS was coming, or they came on the 14th and they're coming back on the 16th. I heard they told them to fix the steps and to build walls, some kind of walls. That's what Dawn said to the behavior panel. And that makes sense with what Jose said, that there was no walls in the toilet, that they just put some cupboards or something to cover it. But then Mr. Arjan says that Jose was in Tennessee in Ben Hill Creek on the 14th, the day before Summer went missing. And that makes me wonder, why would Jose be lying? This is just getting sadder. And I hope we get justice for Summer Moonu-Wells, because this is absolutely not fair. This has become a circus, and there are other missing children that need awareness to be spread for their sake too. So Candus, Jodisue, Hunter, Dawn, y'all know how it goes. The first person who makes a deal with the TBI, well, the FBI will get a good deal. So somebody should talk, unless they all are involved in it, which I believe. They have this thick bond with them that they're going to stick and hold it together. Basically, like if one goes down, we all go down. I think they're playing that motto with us. That's their quote. I really just hope we come to a solution and find out what really happened to poor Summer Moonu-Wells. She deserves justice. The same goes with Michael Monkey Vong. He's a 4.5-year-old, I believe, 4-year-old when he went missing on the 27th of July. He went missing a month after Summer Moonu-Wells. He was from Fruitland, Idaho. And there's not much new leads on that case too, but they said that there were 2 cars that was seen around the timings the 5-year-old, 4-year-old Michael Vong went missing. His nickname is Michael Monkey. His mother looks really devastated about this whole matter. She looks really sad. She's really breaking down, so I hope she finds a child. The same goes for Lena Sadat Keel. She's a 4 or 5-year-old girl from Afghanistan. She lived only 1 year in Texas before she disappeared too. Texas police, Santa Antonio, has been doing a brilliant job with all the search and all the efforts and all the resources they put in, but it still there isn't much new leads. I believe Lena went missing around the 22nd or 24th of December, which was around Christmas time. The Islamic mosque in Texas raised fundraising, or not fundraising, the reward money from 50,000. They collected 200,000, all the mosques in Texas. So they added that 200,000 with the 50, and now it's 250,000. But still there's no leads of Lena, so I hope they come with some answers. Tomorrow, actually on Monday, we have Eid festival. That's where we celebrate. It's like our Christmas in Islam. We have two kind of Eids. One is Eid Ramadan. That's the one that we are finishing the fast month tomorrow. And then we have the Eid Hajj. That is the one people go to Mecca once in their lifetime, or how many times they can afford it. So those two Eids are things that I value, kind of. I respect every religion, but I'm just looking so forward because that's the time you get to spend with friends and family and all. I don't think I'll be doing much this Eid. Maybe just go out. I'm supposed to meet a friend, have dinner, and then come back, and then it'll be a working day next day. So there isn't much point to be going out. But then I get to see my family, so that is beautiful too. Guys, I hope you are taking good self-care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water, get some good rest, keep yourselves dehydrated since it's going to be summer, and I'm sure it's warm in many places in the States. And just let's hope Candus talks to Ernie Shell. You never know, maybe Ernie Shell will end up breaking this case and getting the answers that are needed. But I just don't trust Candus. That's all I can say. Candus is not someone to rely on. She was the same woman who was crying wolf. Like the saying says, she was around just calling Mary, Don's stepsister, making prank calls saying that Don is arrested and he's in Boston, and the FBI came and took him to Boston. And then later on, Mary found out it was a joke. So they were playing these kind of pranks late at night. So she can just play another prank with Ernie Shell and with all the other people like she's doing. Hopefully we come to a bottom of this case. Prayers for Summer Munutu Wells, justice for Summer Munutu Wells, prayers for Michael Monkey, Wong, Lena Sadat Keel, sincere and classic Pettis, Susanna Murphy, and all the victims suffering. May they come home safely, or maybe get results so that they can rest in peace. Please like, share, and subscribe. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.